secret that's driving resounding American banks' digital success in developing markets. Working for banks can be as rewarding as frustrating it gets. On second thoughts, I would say it's more rewarding. Truly, one gets to learn how to squeeze the marketing buck to derive ROI. One of the longest held secrets is about how this particular American bank manages to succeed in developing markets on the digital channel. About a decade back, when I started working for this bank, I realized that they were following a global mandate of moving to a low-cost or no-cost channel. The whole digital initiative those days was called Win the Web. And for some funny reason, that despite the prevalence of interactive kiosks and digital display options, the whole initiative was centered around the internet. It was a great joyride those days, and adding to the whole experience was this awesome channel head who would not be scared to experiment. The goals were fairly straight. A 40% of all acquisitions on digital. B 10% of all service interactions on digital. Looks simple. Now here's the context that made it hard. 1. Insignificant size of digital market. We had absolutely everyone competing on the same set of digital properties. 2. Insignificant media vehicles and choices. Search was just about taking off, and social media was not around. 3. No ready databases. Unlike the developed economies where target audience profiles and segments are available, there was nothing even remotely close that we had access to. 4. Digital footprint. Despite the double-digit rate of internet growth, penetration was still poor and most consumers accessed the internet from browsing centers or from a shared common terminal at work. And here's the multi-point plan that helps us to get to our goals. 1. Brace for a long hard journey. The client used to wince at every meeting and interaction we had during the first few months. But we got our point across, that we will have to go through this long hard journey, and not depend on shortcuts. After all, we were creating a category-changing experience. 2. Invest in own brand. Most marketers avoid the pain of executing changes on in-portal and on own digital assets, mostly due to compliance-led strictures, and that third-party sites have a lot more traffic. We reassigned this priority, and to simplify the client's problem, started managing content production and deployment on their secure digital properties. The reason being, the need to consolidate digital brand value and leverage from organic traffic. 3. Yield tracking. Yes, this may sound funny, but we moved away from the art being the panacea for marketing problems. Setting up inventory-wise, portal-wide tracking system for yield was by far the biggest breakthrough we achieved. Not just my visual designers and writers had doubts, even other agencies thought I was terribly off focus. But in the final analysis, I survived to narrate this. Actually, this was game-changing and helped us drive significant traction. 4. Brand advertising. It was really hard to do brand campaigns, particularly when media is scarce and the client is pushing for leads. Well, even today it's hard to pull off a pure brand campaign on digital. We collaborated with the bank's traditional ad agency in carefully crafted communication for offline publications and TVC by pushing context-specific content sections on their campaigns. 5. Small tweaks. Sometimes we are waiting for that one big marketing nirvana idea, and lose out on those really small, incremental changes that add up to something big. I still remember the URL popularization plan that we put together involved getting the bank to publish its URL in the branch flyers, and fade in text for TVCs, etc. And the result surprised not just the bank and other agencies, but pleasantly surprised me as well. For more clarity and details, please visit GetCherry at www.getcherry.com. Thank you.